Hello, hello, Jen Rulon from jenrulon.com and Rulon Racing. So you'll notice the new hashtag fearless sign, which I'm super stoked about. Today, I wanted to talk to y'all about 70.3 Ironman Buffalo Springs Lake Triathlon post-race vlog. And there's a reason why that title is called I Crushed It. Because I did. Plain and simple. But if y'all know me, and you've seen me, you've seen my Instagram stories, Coach Jen Rulon, and you know my energy, you know my vibe, but that is how I truly feel no matter what race I do, whether it's shitty, whether it's crappy, whether it's fantastic, I go into that race, I go into races knowing that I will crush it. And I think that has helped me and my mindset, not only for my racing, but also my coaching and also my business. And this weekend proved that to me, not only as an athlete, but as a coach and then as a business owner. Because I'm not going to get into the coaching and the business owning a lot, but I go into my athletics, crushing a race. I go into my coaching. I go not crush my athletes, but I teach them how to crush their own race. And then with my business, I'm going out and crushing it every single day and hustling. And that's what I fucking love about my business and my brand, is that I'm going to go out and crush it as an athlete, as a coach, and as a business owner. I talked to Brandon on Saturday and I said, this race, I want to go a little bit different. I want to go a little bit harder and try to push myself on the swim and on the bike. I know how to do that on the run. Like I tell a lot of people, running is my jam. I love to run. When I get on the run course, I'm like, see ya. And that's just what I do. But I've never truly felt like I've pushed the swim. I've never truly felt like I pushed the bike. And there's that delicate balance on pushing the bike and then not having anything for the run. You hear that a lot with athletes, is that they go out and crush the bike and then they're walking the run. That's not the way to do it. If you want a successful half Ironman distance triathlon, you don't need to go crush the bike and then walk the run. It has to be that, once again, that delicate balance. So I told Brandon, sort of wanted to push it a little bit, and just sort of see where I'm at. So for the swim, I went pretty aggressive right away, and I needed to. I've done that course 34 minutes. I did it in 32:45, something like that. Very happy with the results on that. That's about like a 149 per 100. So I've been working really hard on my swims. And so I was really happy with my swim. But here's the thing. I didn't know what I swam until I finished. So I just sort of broke it up. I went every 20 miles. Usually I try to do 10, but sometimes a 10, But I went every 20 miles and I was looking at a 245, 250. I did a 250. So I was pretty happy with that. My power was my power, plain and simple. Normalized power, I think I was at 162. No, actually it wasn't even that high. 158, and my average power I think was like 150. I'd have to look at Garmin or Strava or whatever. And so that, to me, it is what it is. Like that's the power that I was able to push out that day. I was pretty aggressive, or I felt like I was aggressive. I was in aero most of the time. I pushed the downhills. I stayed at my watts going uphill, and I did. So with the bike, I think I was, at 250, so I think I was at like 19.9 on that, and I was happy with that. Like I said, I was looking at 245 to 250 because that's what I knew I could hold for my watts. So when I came to the run, I told myself, okay, the run's my jam, got to do it. And I told myself, all right, let's try to do a 140 to 145. So I take off like a bat out of hell. And I looked at my first mile, and here's the thing, my watch wasn't on every mile. But the thing was, is I knew that Strava would pick that up and Garmin Connect would pick that up. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna worry about it and fart around with it. So I took off. I was doing it at 720s, 715, 720s. Heart rate was a little high. About mile 1.5, I was like, ooh, I need to go potty. So the great thing about campgrounds is that they have bathrooms around, and I knew exactly where the bathroom was. So I ran in. As I'm running, I take off my one piece, pretty much go in, go out, and I start pushing it, So in my mind, I have to make it up. But I was just looking at my pace. I knew I could hold between a 7:30 to an 8 on the average. So I knew I was going to be able to do that. I knew going up that one hill was going to be a little harder, but I was going to shuffle up it. And it was just me getting up that hill. And that's the big thing for a lot of people, is some people just, when they see that hill, they automatically stop. They disconnect, they start walking. And that is where I think a lot of people can gain grounds by just shuffling up that hill, physically and mentally. That's going to give you some big grounds. If you are with me as an athlete, I will make you do some nasty HIIT workouts in the gym. So then when you go up those nasty hills, you could say, all right, this is like a HIIT workout. It's only going to take me a minute and a half maybe to get up that hill. And that's the cool thing about triathlon training, but then training in the gym, because you can apply that stuff to your races as well. So I honestly had no idea where I was at in placement and all that stuff, just because of the fact nobody had their numbers on. This was the first race I ever did. They had no body marking, which I thought was a little sad. I had my tri-tats on, represent tri-tats. And, so people knew my age, but I didn't know anybody else's age, which sort of sucked. And I think about my nutrition. I think about what's going on with my salts, waters. Do I need Coke? Do I need any of that? I start thinking about what I need for the next water station. Do I need a sponge? Do I need ice? Anything like that. So I will look at my watch occasionally just to sort of see what pace I'm at. So I go on to the second loop, and I'm at, 6.5, you could say. And I could tell I was starting to slow down, because what I realized is I did not take enough nutrition on the bike. I was having a little bit of GI distress that first round. And then I get to mile, it was 8.5, maybe 9. I don't know where I was at. Guess what? There's that campground bathroom again. And, I was a little disappointed with those 2 stops, but when you gotta go type of thing. Yeah, I know, TMI, right? And so same thing. I go in, and the funny thing is, the guy was about to shut it down to clean. I'm like, no, do not shut that down. I go, I guarantee you I am in and out in 30 seconds. And I was out fast. And I go, and I didn't stop my watch, because I wanted my watch to continue, because I knew the race clock was going to continue, right? It doesn't stop for me to go to the bathroom. So I run out, pull up my stuff, pull up the one piece again, zip it up. And by that time, I'm at a 9 miles, almost 10. So I told myself, all right, you are a 5K away. When I get to that 10-mile mark, you're at a 5K away. Jen, you could do this in your sleep. I say to myself, okay, you do 8 minutes, that's 24 minutes. Cool. You're going to make your mark, 145. Then I get to mile 11, and I see it again, and it's like, okay, cool. You could do 8 minutes, you could do 16, or you do 8-minute miles, you got 2.1 to go, 16 minutes, blah, blah, blah. cool, you'll be at 1:45. Wait a minute. All your training runs and your tempo work is faster than an 8-minute. So why the hell are you doing 8 minutes when you know you can do 7:30, 7:40s? I got to mile 11. I said, all right, Rulon, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? I just sort of flipped my switch. I turned off that negative. I kept that positive on, and I kept thinking to myself, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? 5:15, 5:15, 5:15. I kept that in my head over and over and over and over for those last 2 miles. I get to mile 12. I pushed. I get to the turn to the bridge to cross the lake. You go left, you finish, you go right, you go on your second loop. And I saw one of my teammates, Adrian, on there. And I said, Adrian, I'm going home. I said, I want you to stay strong, stay tough, and represent that brand for me. And he goes, okay, coach, I will. And I just got goosies. And I turned that corner and I was like, you gotta go, Rulon. 5:15, 5:15. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? And I crossed the finish line. I hear Mike Riley call my name. And I guess I saw my husband and we hugged and kissed and oh my God, it was just so wonderful. And I said to him, I go, I fucking PR'd this course. I PR'd this course. Holy shit. Holy shit. I did a 5:11:45. How bad do you want it, Rulon? I'm going to get emotional on you guys. I want it bad. Like, here's the thing. I don't know what I'm trying to prove. I'm just trying to do my best. I'm just trying to get out there and show people that with the hard work, dedication, determination, and that mindset, you can get where you need to be. You can get to being fearless. I placed second in my age group. I got the famous buffalo. Cool thing is we have a herd of buffaloes in the Rulon racing. Chris got first in his age group, which I'm so excited. We both qualified for Worlds 70.3 in Ironman, or 70.3 Ironman Chattanooga, September 9th. He did not take the slot. I did take the slot. So regardless, this year, I will be going to a World Championship race over the last couple years. And that's why I have that little Iron Zen group on Facebook, Iron Zen with Coach Jen. We're almost at 100 people, which is so exciting. But it's just teaching athletes on how to get into that mind, because so many of us just shut that mind down. And I think there are 3 learnings from this race that I want to share with you real quick. 1, write out that pre-race report if it's just for you, but write down your time goals, write down what you're going to do for your nutrition, because you don't need to go out into the race course and just, as Brandon calls it, have a chemistry experiment with your body, right? First thing, write all that stuff. Second, work on that mindset. Start figuring out what is holding you back, if anything, and really hone in and finding that mindset and tapping into that during your training. And 3, surround yourself with the people that are going to make you better. We'll catch you all next time.